same two countries that you've been given. So click on this link here, and every semester when I make this assignment, they go live with their newest ones, and so my link becomes dead. So if they do it 2023 in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, we'll update it. But if you go to this particular site, this Environmental Performance Index from, I believe, Yale, what they do is they rank the countries of the world based on how good they are environmentally, and they rank them on different things. And so let's go ahead and let's look at different countries. And so we got India and China. So let's go to India. So I want to go ahead and do country, India. This is topic for today, if I get to it. India, all right. So what it has is a scorecard. So there's about, let's say, 190, 200 countries in the world. And so if you're ranked 180, that ain't good. So India, in the case of India, I can go at it with this particular response, this activity, this option. I want to kind of focus on the negatives. Why do they have this negative environmental index? If your country has a very high ranking, you'd want to find out, okay, what does this country do good? Why is this country ranked so high? And so then, you can do a little bit of research, and there's kind of some common things. Stage 4 countries typically have higher development, higher affluence, more likely to do recycling, all of that stuff. Lower developed countries, they don't have those amenities, a little bit more biomass, a little bit more burning fuels, less regulation. And so those are some things we kind of know already, but then from here you want to look at the categories, the data, to find out, okay, what are they good at, what are they bad at? And so in the case of India, we've got these various components here. And so we see different things, okay, I want to look for high numbers. So biodiversity, they ain't good here, so this might be something I'd want to talk about, is the lack of biodiversity in India. And I don't know, because I don't know what's going on there. I don't know India that well, but whoa, look at the air quality. This is bad air quality. And so I'd want to find out, okay, why do they have bad air in India? Why is the air quality so bad? Also, you have some heavy metals, some lead, so some industry. So you can tell, and right now in India, it's industrializing. Why do I know that? It has very poor air quality, but it also has poor as far as heavy metals, and its sanitation, its drinking water isn't that good. And so it's industrializing quite quickly. And I know a little bit about this already, as you'll see here later on when we talk about India's air quality problem. So here, in the case of India, I'd want to focus in on this negative. Now let's go to maybe a more positive country. So I want to, if this is maybe your situation where you have a country that has something good to talk about, let's use an example, and let's go to South Korea. All right, South Korea. And so you'll see it's ranking 63. So it's not in the top 50. But it's in the top 100, so it's good. It's better than India for sure. And so some things it's good at. It's better at biodiversity. Whatever SO2 growth rate. What's nice is you can click on these links to get a little bit more of that. So that's what sulfur dioxide growth rate. So it looks like a lot of countries are ranked 1 on that. Okay, cool. Household solid fuels. I don't know what that is. Cool. Whoa, sanitation. 1. So I want to go and talk about sanitation. Why is the drinking water so good in South Korea? Why is it number 1 in terms of sanitation? Recycling, number 1. So look at waste management, ranks very high. And so here are some positive things I would want to talk about. So here, if you have a country that ranks high in stuff, this is stuff to focus in on. And so if I go back to activity 3, that's kind of that first part I just described. As far as, okay, tell me where your country ranks. Is it ranked in the top 25, the middle 25, the middle 50, the bottom 25? And so from there, what does it do well? What does it do not so well? And that's where you then use these various, what they call components. These various components, how do they stack up for your particular country? And then from there, this is where you then do a little bit more research, and I want you to then find out what are the 3 biggest environmental challenges for your particular country. And so that's where you can do research for that pretty easily. There's probably just environmental challenges in Japan will probably list them for you. Hell, ChatGPT could probably do this one for you. I don't know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. But what would be really cool is if you insert the IPAT formula. The IPAT formula, once again, it's kind of something we discussed in this course throughout it, and we'll see it today again. And so those are something that kind of showcase that you understand stuff. Once again, this is all about application of stuff discussed in the course to random countries of the world that you've been given. Questions, comments, concerns?
Where does the United States rank?
And this, yeah, what do we ranked? And this is a little bit subjective, so there's a little bit of that to it. So there's some opinion to this as well. But we're top 50. We're in top 25%. 43 is our rank. Marine protected areas, that's probably a few other countries have that #1 ranking as well. But that's kind of characteristic of countries like us, where we have the ability to set aside areas and then set aside areas, but then also monitor and regulate and make sure that we're not getting too much pollution, too much contamination. And so we also can set aside areas like, for example, Florida, just to protect manatees, where if you're a poorer country of the world and fishing is a key industry, you're not going to maybe be more concerned about protecting the marine wildlife. You'll be more concerned, of course, about your key local economy. So those are things to kind of talk about as well, using that as things. So acidification, I don't know, growth rate, I don't know, that's kind of surprising. I guess maybe our growth rate's gone down. Maybe that's why the 1 would be, is because we've improved our air quality so much because industry is left. So it's kind of a weird deal where industry is left, so deindustrialization, and outcome of it is better air. So now that there's fewer steel industry in, let's say, Gary, less industry in the Rust Belt subsequently has improved its air and its sulfur dioxide, its acidification of sulfur dioxide. VOC is volatile compounds, so our air quality's good. Okay, all right, that's somewhat surprising. Anyway, so climate policy, which can be kind of gets in the political aspect. You can go there if you want. Anyway, so yeah, it looks like we're not like top 20, that's for sure. We still got a lot of work to do, but we are a very large country that has a very diverse economy, and so that means we're going to have a lot of industry, a lot of primary sector, and those industries in particular aren't environmentally good. Also, you add to it, we have a lot of cars, and that's going to play a role in our air quality.
We have a huge car culture.
Ozone, what's that?
I said we have a really huge car culture here.
Huge car culture, big car culture, yep, no doubt about it. And that's the thing, in India, car culture is booming right now. They are mad for cars. So there, as I'll talk about right now, or soon if I can, their car culture is like crazy, and so there the air quality is getting worse. All right, so that's activity 3. So I've explained it pretty thoroughly, each of the different options. And it's once again application of concepts to random countries of the world that you've been given to.